Hi everyone, Gig Coach Jake here, your go-to for gig economy news, tips, and tricks. And today, DoorDash has announced a new challenge. Some of you are thinking, awesome, great. Now let me tell you why this can be a bad thing. Lyft and Uber have been doing this for years. Those that are with Uber, familiar with the Uber Quest bonuses, correct? And Lyft always did a bunch of ride bonuses. They tried a lot of different things. And I'm sure some other companies have too. Now we know Postmates, they've done some, do so many deliveries and make a guaranteed certain amount. Now what this does is it gets more drivers on the road. So for those of you that are excited about this, don't get too excited because you're the same people that are upset about DoorDash saturating your markets. Think about drivers that are running multiple apps. And now they get this little challenge, an extra $15. $15, by the way, that we should be getting paid to begin with. They're essentially taking the money they should be paying you in delivery pay and using it to run promos, peak pay. Now this challenge, $15. Now you can see behind me, the back screen, I have what people have been seeing in the email. A lot of people just received this email yesterday. You'll see on the actual app, complete 15 deliveries, July, 6th or 8th through the 14th. And then it's $15 and it shows the different areas that are eligible. And there's like a little ticker. It's like 7 days left. Kind of force that and create a little sense of urgency. And then some other ones, in front of the app, that's your home screen, what it'll look like. Those of you that are wondering, I don't know if I have this or not. If you don't see either one of these things on your app, you don't have it yet. They've received a text message and an email. Those are eligible and qualify for this. I know you're saying, that's not fair. How come some people get it and I don't? That's just how these apps work. They will test different things. They will not send it out to everybody at once. What happens if there's some bugs and there's some glitches that they have to fix? That could create a nightmare on the app if they roll it out to everybody. And again, they don't want this incentive to everybody. My guess is that they would be sending these types of things out to dashers that don't drive as often, that don't deliver as often for their company. For example, I know with Uber Eats, you will see a lot more of their promos, their quests, and their boosts when you aren't delivering as often. It's their way to get you back on the app and do more deliveries for them. Instead of paying us $3 base delivery pay and taking their algorithm that guesstimates what we're going to make on an order, and making a $3 base pay, $1 per mile, say 50 cents per mile, and then a time metric. None of this algorithm like Grubhub. Monkey see, monkey do. Now Grubhub has their own DoorDash version algorithm that essentially is paying drivers less. And what happened, Grubhub, they put it in their terms, in the wording, in an email saying that when we make changes to this pay model and you toggle available on the app, you are then accepting these new terms. Again, this is something Uber and Lyft have been doing for years. And look where their drivers are. 60 cents a mile. And even all their Plus and their XL and their Premier with the higher the luxury cars, they're making less as well. It's just their great way of paying us less to begin with and then using the money they should have been paying us as a carrot on a stick to chase. What happens for some reason that you wait till the last minute and you can't get this last bonus in, or you're taking deliveries to get them, they're going to cost you money. You're normally a person that cherry picks and you're a lot more selective about your DoorDash. And now you're like, oh, I got to get these 3 more deliveries in so I can get that extra $15. But you sacrifice money. You rob Peter to pay Paul. These bonuses are psychological. They're put there for a reason. And there's a reason why not everybody has it. And not everybody will have it at the same time. Again, these companies, gig companies, are notorious for using the carrot on the stick and these promos to not only get drivers to come out and drive more, but to herd the sheep, right? To herd us around. For example, peak pay. I would love to see them do away with peak pay and just take that $1 base pay and move it up to $3 and still use their subsidizing, still pay us when there's low tip and no tip. And you might say, well, why should they still subsidize? That peak pay that they're giving us into the delivery pay is money they were using in promos to get us to go work areas we did not want to work to begin with. That essentially takes away the freedom and flexibility of this job. I know a lot of you are like, oh, I became an independent contractor because of the freedom and flexibility. But I could show you many examples of independent contractors that are working like employees because they're chasing these psychological things like a bonus or acceptance rating. Premier and Pro status in Grubhub's a perfect prime example, right? It can be a good thing. So for those that do DoorDash on a regular, you already do 15 deliveries in this amount of time. That's an extra $15 in your pocket. So I do want to talk about the good side of this. The problem is they're taking money they should be paying us up front and they're using it as promo money. They should be paying us up front. None of this. Give her the promos, give her the challenges, the games. Pay us fair to begin with. $3 base, not $1. Still subsidized when there's a low tip or no tip. That way there's kind of a safety net for drivers. You're not left up to chance. Think about if you got 100 deliveries in a week and the majority of them are low or no tip. You're really going to make next to nothing if there was not any subsidizing with these offers. I know a lot of people want to talk about how DoorDash steals. They never point out all the offers where DoorDash paid them an absurd amount of money for the amount of work they did. $12 worth of food. There's times I can show you a bunch of screenshots where I got paid as much by DoorDash as the customer paid for the food itself. Pros and cons are as good and bads of everything. I like to point out the realities and then help you with solutions around this. Now, what I want you to do with this challenge is if you're someone that does DoorDash very sparingly, don't go out and try and do 15 deliveries just because to get 15 extra dollars. Work smarter. Work for whichever app is paying you more. Who's going to keep you busy? Now, DoorDash is a great app to fit in a delivery here and there throughout the week. In this time frame, you could easily have added 3 deliveries in between the Grubhub slow times or the Grubhub wait times to hit an extra $15 on top. That is where this would be a good thing. So I want you to take this challenge and see it for what it is. DoorDash taking the delivery pay you should be getting and using it as a promo and saturating markets even more. Right? Peak Pay. Peak Pay was a great way to saturate certain zones. There's some $5 peak pay coming up this Thursday in my market. And most people aren't even going to get into that zone. And the ones that are probably going to get 1 or 2 deliveries an hour. That sucks. Instead of being able to log onto your block and stay busy and make decent money. Fair pay. Give us fair pay. Do not oversaturate the markets. Put enough supply for the demand. Everybody wins. You make money. Your customers stay happy because they have happy drivers that are giving great service. Think about all your dashers that are pissed off that are keeping food, making customers come to them. The list goes on. The more that you screw over your help, the more that they're going to piss off your customers. It's a no-brainer. Pay us fair. We're not asking for too much. We use our vehicles. We're willing to drive quite a bit amount of miles and work a crazy amount of hours to do your deliveries. And I know people that work crazy hours like overnight. With that being said, I'm going to jump into the comments section. I want to thank all of you that are watching live, and I apologize for the wait and delay. Nobody wants to hear chainsaws and landscapers going nuts just outside my window when I'm trying to do a live stream. I always want to put out good quality, and I thank those who are willing to be patient an extra 30 minutes to catch a quality stream without a bunch of chainsaw buzzing going in the background. So for those that don't care for the chat and the discussion in the streams and the videos, you can check out now and have a wonderful day, evening. Be safe out there and work smarter. And don't forget, hashtag low pay, no way. In the description after the video, I will have links to the Facebook groups for those that are on Facebook. Come join the discussions and continue this one beyond this live stream. For those that are waiting, give me a moment while I pop on over to the questions here and I'll scroll up. Again, thank you for all your patience. For those that were waiting, I apologize. Live streams are tough because we kind of have to schedule them, but then nail everything with quality and the things that are very important to me that I want to be consistent with. So let's go. Jason says, I'm still sitting on 0. I've only seen 2 offers come through in 2 months that I could have even accepted. The extra catering bags have come in handy, though. Now, this is all of you talking about the DoorDash drive orders. I'll skip ahead a little bit, try and get to the actual comments that are relevant here. So, T Frakes Tank says they haven't updated. And I'll say it correctly for those that are super Apple. I say iOS to make fun of it. It's iOS. Someone put a comment yesterday, made a huge deal about it. You all worry about some ridiculous things. Potato, who cares? Does it really matter? No. Just matters though people that really love Apple and get upset when you say it wrong. He says they haven't updated for a while though. Haven't seen anything new in my market. That's San Diego. George says I didn't get that in Southern California. So these are all the people talking about who got the bonus and who didn't. And now again in my Facebook group, we're posting a comment and we're having a lot of discussion on who got it, who didn't. And then we're going to share details and data on what people are finding as it goes on. Great way for us to find solutions as they change the rules of the game over and over and over again. FBI agent says they making seems like they care. That's our money they stole from us. Exactly. Great point. They're using all these little feel-good things. And guess what? They're doing it at a time where they're trying to get all of us to be on board with their signing our rights away. No. They're essentially making you think this is a positive. They're giving you a promo. And this is part of their roundtable discussion and the things they're offering. We don't want $1 base delivery pay. That was the biggest thing people screamed and yelled about. Yet it was not addressed. You want to dance around it and use promos and peak pay and all this crap that does not benefit us in the long run. Pay us what we should pay. Let us deliver when we want to. Within the rights as an independent contractor. Arnamish says, don't subsidize my pay with my tips. DoorDash, how about that? Yeah, I want them to subsidize our pay with their profits. They collect a pretty good percentage off these restaurants, these merchants, when they have orders. The drivers, think about a situation where we conduct a delivery and we make next to nothing, or you take a loss because it was so far. DoorDash actually benefited. They're going to make their percentage off that order no matter what, regardless. So back to what FBI agent says, they're using your money for these peak pay and promos. You're chasing your own money that you should have to begin with. That sucks. Gilly Guy at Jenny Hicks, don't worry, you're not missing much after the 4th. People have been broke. Yeah, it's going to be slow. It'll start to pick back up as July ends and going into August, and especially when school starts to come back, as the students come back for college and get ready to go back to school and people get back onto normal schedules. FBI just says, I already got my 15 runs yesterday. Where's my $15? You're probably not even qualified for the promo, I bet. That's what really sucks. Again, I believe it's the people that don't do a whole lot of DoorDash. And I could be wrong. That's just an initial theory because of what these other companies have done, like Uber Eats, Lyft, Uber. They tend to send these promos to the drivers that are not as active to get them more active and to saturate. So for like rideshare, Lyft's campaign was rides in minutes. The more drivers they could put on the road to beat out Lyft or Uber in wait time, they were able to then steal market share over time from them. They absolutely saturated the market with drivers, not caring how much they made, so then they could steal market share for Uber to increase their profits. These companies don't care about you. None of them. Grubhub, Postmates, DoorDash, none of them. Dustin Driver says, what's going on, Jake? Anything new isn't usually good. LL. Just look at Uber and Lyft. Exactly. And those of us that come from rideshare and have been doing this for years really understand what's going on with the food delivery side of things. They're behind. Rideshare, again, I've always said this over and over. Uber and Lyft, Uber especially, created the playbook on how to exploit and take advantage of gig workers. And they've done a phenomenal job of it. I can't stand these companies, and that is why I do these videos in this channel to help disrupt and educate you all to be true independent contractors so you can succeed in this industry, and they have to amend and change their ways. Because guess what? The less of you bending over, accepting all the crap, and run around doing what they want, do you really think they have the leverage and control anymore? Heck no. The more of us that are working smarter, the less control they have over us. Keep that in mind. But like he said, anything new that's coming out, and especially when they shape it like it's something that you asked for, it's a great thing, you better question it. Dig a little bit. Do some thinking. And use some common sense and logic. Jason says, $5 peak pay right now. They try to get me to go 10 miles to drop off a short distance Walmart order. It should have been offered to a closer driver. They're avoiding paying those bonuses. Exactly. Great example. When they do have these bonuses and contribution systems like with Grubhub, they're going to do whatever they can to ensure that you do not hit that bonus. Look at their driver referrals, for example. Went from like 80 deliveries to 120 to 150 to now 200 deliveries they have to do in 60 days. Yeah, most of you are saying no big deal. And if we break it down in numbers, very doable. But what they've done is they've taken the data in the previous referrals and saw, okay, what number could they hit? They saw that 150, people were nailing that 150 when that $1,500 and $2,000 bonuses came out. They were hitting the 150 no problem. They then jumped that up to 200 before that promo was even done. An extra 50 deliveries. That's a third more. Over 33% more. If we're talking about percentage, that is a lot. They just make it harder. For example, peak pay. In Arizona, we've never had the 2 deliveries. I know some of you are saying, we've had that forever. That's not the point. The point is they said they were going to make it easier, and they lied. They made it harder in Phoenix, and they never even notified anyone. Myself included, I made the mistake. I missed the details. I assumed it was the same. I laughed. I said, you got me this time, DoorDash. Won't happen again. They tricked us. We needed 2 deliveries. We've never had that before. I hit my 1 delivery. I went to pause, end it, cashed my $3. Thought it was all slick. Nope. They got me that time. Again, they're always going to do whatever they can do to keep you from getting these bonuses. That's why they don't pay you up front a proper delivery pay. They can use all these psychological games and tactics to keep more money. Perfect example is Lyft and Uber. Their primetime and surge systems still charge the customer multiplier. The drivers make a lot less than they used to. They used to make either 75 or 80% depending on when they contracted with these companies and what they signed up for. They're now seen as low as 40 and 50% of what the customers charged. That's crazy. And you better believe that these food delivery companies can do the same exact thing in the coming years if you all go and sign your rights away. Now, I know the majority that follow my channel and love my stuff, you're not part of that majority that's going to be fooled or tricked by DoorDash. A lot of you are pretty wise and smart already to what's going on. And I just wish that we could grow these numbers stronger. The more people that are aware and working smarter, the less control these companies have over us and the less games and BS that they can pull. Chili says, Uber Eats has direct deposit on Mondays, 5 fast pays. I'm going to skip that. Not as relevant. Michael says, I've refrained from DoorDash because I worked an 8-hour day for $68. Haven't dashed since. Man, I don't blame you. Now, there's a lot to that. There's a lot to... And if we're just accepting offers and delivering, it's all chance. You're only going to make as much as luck allowed. You're either going to get really lucky with some good deliveries or really unlucky with some bad ones. If you're selective and you use all the information you have, like I've taught in my videos, then you can actually start to increase the amount of money you make. Every market's different. That is not possible in every market. I'm just using an example of where you actually could go and make more, so don't let that totally frustrate you. Jump in the Facebook groups. We can help you out. I would love to. So FBI says, I didn't get that promo, but my girlfriend got it. That's how I found out. She barely drives. That is data. That's a little bit. It's a small sample. It already came out. So there's 2 dashers. They're a couple. He dashes a lot. He already said he did his 15 deliveries. He should already be paid. That's a great indicator. It tells me already that he does a good amount of DoorDash. She does not. She got the promo. Anyone else in this group? I would love to see comments. Anyone watching this video in the comments below. If you got the promo or if you didn't, and others that you know they got it, whether they dash a lot or very little. I do very little. I've not yet received the promo, but I don't know of anybody in Arizona that's received it yet either. So market specific for sure. So Kenneth says $10 for 30 Uber trips. They usually bump it to $15 for weekends. Yeah, and again, all that is trying to increase the supply for the demand and get more drivers out. Why are they not paying Uber drivers a fair pay to begin with? Do they not realize if they paid them fair to begin with, they wouldn't have to run these promos incentives? If DoorDash paid me more for deliveries, I would do less Grubhub deliveries, more DoorDash, and they wouldn't have to run this garbage. It just blows my mind. All these games, it's all this cat and mouse. Grubhub does a lot of it. It's very ineffective. And the more that we work smarter and educate one another, the less effective that it is. Hector says, multi-app guys, that's how you see a fat check. Absolutely. And diversify. As new gig apps come, test them out, try them out. I just added Roadie recently, and it turns out it's a phenomenal gig app to add to any one of these, especially those of you that live in perimeter areas, travel into town to work. Wouldn't you love to get a paid trip back home? I have a way for you to do that. And those that do Roadie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I have a video coming soon that's going to show a way for you to make a little bit more income. Say if you made an extra $15 a day, 7 days a week. That's an extra $105 a week that you can add on. $420 a month. That's a car payment. A pretty decent car payment. Who wouldn't want that? Just by being more efficient. Nothing else. So that video is coming soon. Watch for that. And a perfect example of diversifying and adding other apps. Ship's the next one. I'm on a waiting list to check that one out and see how good it is. I've heard a lot of good payouts, a lot of good things. I've heard bad things. I want to see for myself. I'm going to go collect some data when they do approve me, and I'll let you all know. As far as Roadie goes, that's a good app. Those that have Roadie in your town, and yes, like all of them, there's crappy offers, there's good ones. The dollar per mile is lower. Sometimes it's higher. I had one that was a $200 trip to Vegas with a door. If I want to go to Vegas, guess what? My gas was just paid for. Again, just being efficient and using the opportunities, the gig apps that we have out there to our advantage, not theirs. Should be a win-win. Should work for both. Should work for everyone. They're going to make millions and billions off these technology apps and not even be a profitable company. We should be able to make a pretty decent living as well. I think that's fair. What do you think? All right, guys, ladies. Shorter live stream. I just want to come on and touch and address this DoorDash challenge that looks so great to a lot of people because they're figuring, sweet, extra $15. That's nothing. You should be making extra $15 a day off the base pay they steal from you and use for promos. They don't steal tips. They steal your base pay and they use it for promos. I want to make that clear. Everyone's talking about DoorDash steals tips. No, you still get 100% of your tips. They steal your base pay. They pay you crap. It is what it is. Thank you for all those tuning in live and for those that watch it on the replay. Don't forget, hashtag low pay, no way. Facebook group links down in the description. And if you want some of my merchandise, you want to support my brand, the link is down below as well. If you don't care, I don't care as well. I don't make any money on it. In fact, it cost me money and time to run the merchant store, and people gave me a request. That being said, have a great day, evening. Be safe out there. And as always, have fun and work smarter. Later.